Hey fam, you're listening to Becoming You, the podcast for adults figuring it out. Now let's get into it. I'm an adult. What am I supposed to do? I think people are losing faith in love. Do you think so too?
I think to a very large extent, yes.
Yeah, because like I've spoken to a lot of people and they go, "You guys, what are people seeing in this love thing? Like, there's nothing there." Because you see older people separating, leaving each other, and you're like, "Okay, if I'm getting married or partnering up with somebody for companionship, then they leave me when I'm 60, 40, 50. What's the purpose of everything?" And I
Right.
did get, and that's one of the reasons why I've dragged you here. I'm very, very, very happy to have you here, and you work on like helping people like through their healing journey and stuff like that. So for anyone with like a broken heart listening to this episode right now, what do you think you want them to believe about love?
Okay, I think more than anything, I want them, like, if they've lost their hope enough, then I want them to
Mm-hmm.
regain that hope enough. But also, I want them to have a clear picture of what love is and how to do love the
Mm-hmm.
right way. And to just, believe that the love they deserve will eventually find them. And for them to be in a ready state
Exactly.
of mind when that love does, so they'll be able to accept it wholeheartedly.
That's really nice. You know, when I was preparing for this episode, I was thinking about something. I was like, how many times are we permitted to love? Because I was thinking about it in the biblical term of, how many times do we forgive somebody and the love is
Oh,
99 times.
uh,
No, what's
mm,
the answer? And
99 times, 9 times, I think.
something like that, yeah. So I'm like, how many times do we have to like permit ourselves to love again, bro? As many times as
As many
possible.
times as possible, because I mean, God is love, and forgiveness is like an aspect of love. So if you are forgiving someone that many times, then you can
Yeah,
definitely love as many
as
times
many times
as
as possible. And
unnecessarily as possible.
love is just such a beautiful feeling. And you
Exactly.
guys, hi friends, welcome to another episode of the pod where we talk about all things adulting. And today we're talking about something we've never spoken about, talked about on this podcast, and that is love. I'm a lover girl, and I'm wondering why I've never spoken about love on my podcast. I feel like I've always been so money centric. It's like, let's talk about money, let's talk about career, let's talk about friendship
Growth,
sometimes,
growth.
growth and stuff like that. And today I'm going to be a bit vulnerable on this episode. I'm excited
Oh.
and I'm anxious as well because I'm like, so this is love.
La, 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 la.
And you guys, we have a very amazing guest on today's episode. She's an extraordinary person.
My head is swelling, Sha.
To have comfort. I know you guys, you must have seen her somewhere, head over. You should know her by now. If you don't know her, maybe you live under a rock or something. You guys, go and up your game.
Yeah.
So we have comfort, and she is a relationship coach. She is a writer. She is, what are you again? You're a content creator. Yes. You're a, would I call you a counselor?
Yes, I am.
She's a counselor. She's a friend. She's a wife. She's a lot
She's
of
an
things.
author.
She's an. Why would I forget that?
She's a founder.
She's
She's
an
plenty things.
author.
Don't
She's a
worry.
founder. Exactly. And I'll pass the mic over to you for you to properly introduce yourself because I feel like I'm not doing justice to it. You
No,
know, when
you
someone is
are.
your friend, you get to see them as this is a big woman. To comfort. Would
Please.
you would you introduce yourself to us, please?
Okay. Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here. Thank you for having me. First of all, I want to say don't believe anything Buki is saying. I am not a big woman. Please, I'm a very,
You
very
are,
small
please,
babe. I'm
please.
a very, very small babe who is just trying to do too many things at once because she has so many passions. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Hello everyone. My name is Comfort. I'm Omovre. I'm a creative. I'm an author. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm also a mental health professional. And I used to work as a counselor, but right now I'm
Mm-hmm.
an emotional healing and relationship coach. Right, so I
Mm-hmm.
have a wellness company where we basically help people work through trauma, emotional wounds, and repair rifts in their relationships. That's what the company is geared towards. And it's called bloominghouse.co. And you might also know me by my debut novel, When Love Visits. So, yes, these are just things that I really do because I really love these things. And over the years, I've been growing my expertise as well as my skills in these areas. And I'm just happy blessed to be able to do this great work. So yeah, it's nice to be here.
I'm beaming with pride. Like, wow, wow, wow. Well done,
Thank you.
actually.
Thank
Let me
you.
just put it out there. You're one of those people that I see as, would I say, a yardstick to just measure the things that I'm able to do. Like, it's like comfort
What?
can do it. Comfort can do all these things together. Why do you want to limit yourself? Like, I
What?
admire what you've been able to build for yourself. Well done. You've done
Thank
it's
you.
hard work. It's hard work.
It is. Thank you. And it's so
Building a
funny you
brand, a
say that.
company. Oh no.
Thank you. It's so funny you say that because often I always feel like I'm not doing enough. Like the thing you said about yastic, I have a particular person. I don't know if you know her, the global me. I have a particular person that I use as
Mm-hmm.
my own yastic. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired. It's so much. I have to do too much. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what would Tammy do? Because Tammy is doing all of these things together, and if she can do it, you
You
can
can do
too. So
it.
I think it's really
Mm-hmm.
interesting that I am looking up to someone else, thinking that I'm not doing that
You'd
much, and
you'd be
there are
surprised to
people
know
out
someone
there
is
who think
looking
I
up to
am.
me as well. That is the crazy cycle. Like there's always
Right?
somebody. There's always so yeah, I think
Yeah.
you're doing so well and you're doing
Thank
fine.
you, thank you. And to also speak on like you are someone I really, really admire a lot too. All the things you do research.
Are you not trying to
Honestly,
reciprocate,
I do.
please?
Like, oh my god, Vicky is
Mm,
doing so great. She's really giving that all to this podcast. She's showing up consistently online. She's learning product management. She has a master's, guys. See, she's not a small babe as well. Though. She's a very, very big woman.
not so.
She's
Not so.
living life in a whole new country without
Oh,
family. Just you're really, really amazing. And I think it's wonderful how you keep pushing forward, how you keep reinventing yourself. I've
uh-uh.
seen you work as a lecturer, as a Portuguese, expert. And now you're stepping into this new whole world and you're doing it so bravely. And I think that's really beautiful. So well done.
Oh, thank
So,
you.
welcome.
That's actually nice. I wasn't expecting you to like just turn things around so quickly, but yeah, that's
Give and take.
beautiful. Yeah, you were talking about how, when you were introducing yourself, you said you're just a small girl trying to like juggle all these things together. And I want to know, how are you really? How are you? Are you fine? How is it like, doing all these things together?
Oh my god. On most days, the answer is I'm not fine.
Hmm.
I mean,
Understood.
last night I was praying, and one of my major prayer points was just thanking God for how good this week has been because I've not had any meltdowns this week,
Oh,
and things
yeah.
have gone relatively well this week in the sense that even though I wasn't able to tick off all the things I wanted to do this week, I was able to tick off
Mm-hmm.
a good number of them. Last week was so hard for me. It was so rough for me. I felt overwhelmed. I was like, oh my god, do I really want to do this? Can I just quit? It felt like I was, juggling so many things, and all of them just
Mm-hmm.
around me, and I wasn't being able to stay on top of any. And I started really doubting myself. So that's what it looks like on most days. There's a lot of self doubt. There's a lot of, am I sure this is really what I want to be
Yeah.
doing? Should
Mm-hmm.
I be doing this? There's a lot of, oh my god, like, am I capable? There's a lot of, all this effort I'm putting in, would it actually yield any
Do
result at
something.
the
Yeah.
end of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Should I not just quit? It's just a lot. But I think what really helps is just the ability to keep, even when I feel that way, to
To
get
keep
myself back
going.
together. I think,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep pushing until I get to where I want to be. So yeah, that's really it.
Well, like I would say the reverse is the case for me because this week, I mean, today's Saturday, so we're still in the week. This week was very, very overwhelming for me. I started my new role, and it was like I felt like I jumped into the pool without knowing how to swim. So I was struggling. Like I struggled for the most part of the week to just stay afloat, to understand what is even happening. And there is content on the other hand. There is podcast.
Yeah,
I have to edit an hour long podcast, try to get contents from the podcast and everything. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel worried. And a part of me is just like maybe I should trim, I should just take out some things that I do and focus on some other things. But I don't know if this is just a temporary feeling, just that feeling of feeling tired and all, or if it's a genuine
yeah,
one that I should focus on. I'm not sure actually,
yeah. No,
but
I get you. I get you. Go on.
mhm. But yeah, the week was just that for me. It was just a lot of me feeling stressed out. That's
Yeah,
it. I was just really stressed.
it is.
So
It can really, really be overwhelming. It is often
it is
overwhelming.
overwhelming. It is overwhelming.
And I
And there's
don't think it gets better, honestly. I don't think it gets better because, the thing is, we have a level of elasticity as humans, right? So when we start doing what I've been trying to constantly remind myself lately, because last year I took like a 7 month break, off building
one.
my business, building my brand, because I was really, really sick and I was in a bad
Mhm.
place mentally. So coming back now, it's like I'm having to start all over again. My audience have been asleep for such a long time. I mean, all whilst I was posting in January, it was like as if nobody was even seeing my posts,
I can
right? And
actually.
I
I
thought,
think Instagram wasn't really pushing your post as much because there's sometimes I
yeah,
didn't see your post. I reached out and I was like, "Oh, did you stop posting?" I went to check your page and I was like, "Oh, sorry."
yeah, it's because I had been away for so long, right? So that happens. The algorithm
Mhm.
forgets that you exist, and then when you come back, you have to basically remind the algorithm that you exist. But it wasn't just that, it was also the fact that, being away for so long, not creating for so long, I lost my juice, like I lost my reading. Let me put it that way. I lost my
Mm,
reading. So coming back, it felt like I felt very, very odd, very out of place. Like, oh my god, I
yes,
don't know how to do
yeah.
this thing anymore. And I had to want my way back in, right? So I just had to keep reminding myself that let me just see it as I'm starting all over again. I'm trying something new, something different. And it's going to feel difficult at first, but with time I'll get a hang of it. And I think I've
Mhm.
slowly, very slowly begun to get a hang of it. But I'm saying this because I know that when I get a hang of it, I'm going to start looking for more things to add to my plate.
Of course.
So in
Yeah.
answer to the question of does this get better, it doesn't, because once we're able to get past this phase and
Mhm.
establish a sort of balance, a level of balance, because of how ambitious we are, because of all the things we want to be able to achieve, before you know it, we're looking for more things to add to our plate. So it's going to be a
Yes.
constant process of adjusting, like reaching our elastic limit, then going for
Mhm.
that, stretching for that. But yeah, I think it's beautiful. It's rewarding in a way because you're able to say, "Oh my God, I'm able to do this things. I'm so proud of myself. I worked so hard.
Actually,
I achieved so much. Yeah,
actually.
yay me!" It's just so fulfilling.
Exactly. Like you said, you put it in the right way. It's like we always want more. We're insatiable. So it's like when you're able to do three things together, how can I get the fourth one? How can I get myself on the next level? How can I move? Like it's always we're always on the go actually. And we even barely take time to fake our wins in and just rest.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah,
I'm glad you're able
yeah.
to go on the break you went on last year.
Thank you.
Anyway, to get our conversation started on love, I'm
Mm,
going to ask you some questions and true or
okay.
false. Yeah, so it's not this or that. Normally, I do this or that with my guests, but I'm like, no, this time around we need to tweak things a bit. So this one is like true or false questions, and it will just get our conversation started from there. So the first
Okay.
one is love is a verb. True or false?
True.
Why do you think love is a verb?
Because I think love is more of an action word than anything else, right? People
Mm.
think, it's a feeling. But even when we use it, in context, I love you, you are doing
Mm-hmm.
something to someone, you are loving them, right? So
Yeah.
it's a verb because if you say you love someone and there are no actions that, actually exemplify this love, there are no actions that carry this love
Back it
across,
up. Mm-hmm.
then we can actually say it's love. And then I also think love is an action word, particularly because the nature of love is such that it causes you to act, right?
Yeah,
If,
exactly.
if you feel a certain way about someone, you act on it. Like you act in various ways because you feel that
That
certain
way,
way about
yeah.
someone, right? So if you say, "Oh, I really love this person," but that feeling you claim to have for them is not forcing you to act in certain level of ways, then it's not love. It might be attraction, it might be an infatuation, but it's certainly not love. It might
Not
even be
love.
obsession, but it's not love.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so the next one, I think, yeah, I would have added to it, but I think your answer is quite like detailed. So the next one is love is enough.
True.
Are you sure?
True, yeah. I think,
Because
well, it's a tricky question. Not always, but mostly true. Not
okay, because
always
there's
true,
there's
but
this
mostly true.
discourse that always comes up every time. Love is not enough. you need more than love, da 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 da. So, what's your final answer? True or false? True.
Mostly true, but not always true.
Why not always true though?
Okay, so one always true. I'll say that there are certain situations in which even when you are doing love in all the ways that it is right and on all the things that it encompasses, it might still not be enough because there are external forces that might actually prevent that love from coming into being. Say for
Hmm.
example, two people who are of similar genotypes, say AS, and they really love each other, they really want to be with each other, but because they want kids and they are afraid of what that will mean for their future children, they decide, oh no. But even in that extent, that's why I say love, like most, because when we really break down love to what it is, love is what we tell those, like, what make those people say, you know what?
Let's walk away
I
from this.
see. We are going to look at other options. The kids will be alright. We will look at other
Well,
options, right? So
but
I feel like love is mostly almost always enough because if you really, really break down love, it will make you find a way, no matter what the circumstances are. Oh, they're not really doing well. Things
mm-hmm.
that are going. The focus would be how can we get them to be where they need to be so we can keep on loving each other, right? How can I get myself to be where I need to be so I can keep on loving them? That's what love does, right? Love makes us want to be enough.
I want to just borrow a sweeter lingo right now to just say, see where you go hang ball. I wasn't expecting you to bring that kind of example. When you said love is not enough, I was like, oh, okay. I have like my counterpoint already and stuff. And you were like, genotype. I said, bruh, that's why you're a coach. I wasn't expecting that. But like in that kind of situation, love might actually not be enough because it's like, I love you so much, but do we even have money to
Yeah.
explore other options? Are you sure
Mm-hmm.
it's not best we let go of each other at this point,
Right.
bro?
Right.
Okay, okay, maybe. Because I was ready to tell you if we go by the biblical definition of love, love is sacrifice, love is
We
enough,
should be
bro.
enough.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good one. Okay, so this one now is we do not fall in love. Love is a choice. True or false?
Oh, false and true.
Hmm.
Both false and true.
I don't like all these political answers. Are you a Nigerian
Everyone
politician
is
or what?
see.
Like,
The thing
I
is,
want
love.
one.
Love
I
does not
want
exist in
one.
black and white, so it's really, really hard to put love in black and white. It exists
Duh.
between all the colors in between, the grays, the blues.
I don't want to consider the intricacies. No.
Okay, so what's the question? Love is not something we fall
You
into,
do not
something
fall
we
in
choose.
love. Love is a choice.
Okay, yes, love is a choice.
Okay, you agree.
Yeah, love is a choice. Absolutely,
Okay.
love
Okay.
is a choice.
Because we say it every other day, we're like, I fell in love, bruh. You walked your way to that woman's heart. You did everything you could to get her. Stop saying that.
Yeah, love is a choice, right? I think, yeah, attraction, we fall into attraction,
Yes, yes.
but then we choose to stay in love. That's how I like
Mm-hmm.
to define it. Because there has to be something that makes you choose to love a person in the
Yeah.
first place, right? So I would say that that thing is attraction, connection, chemistry. So we fall into attraction and then we choose to stay in love. You might not be able to control who you are attracted to,
Attracted to. Okay,
might be
well,
able
that's
to
true.
control, how long you stay attracted to them. But that first moment of, oh, you see someone, and something just sparks, right? Might
Mm-hmm.
not be able to control that, be able to manage it later on. But, yeah, we fall into attraction and then we choose to stay in love. Yeah, that's how I put it.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. That's a brilliant way to put it. Okay, so the next one is the best romantic relationship starts as friendship.
Why are you doing this to me? Sorry, as a romance author, who knows there are so many tropes that exist and they can also lead to a really happy ending.
Oh
I
well.
know.
Well.
But I would say, yeah, true. True.
Actually, this particular question, I think I put it there because I wanted to just spotlight myself a bit on the episode. I
Okay.
I have tried romance that starts with like friendship. I have tried romance that did not start with friendship, and I can tell you for a fact that starting with friendship is really, really, really good because
Yep.
I feel like in a way you know that person when you guys are friends. Like
Yeah.
there are times that I tell my partner things and I forget I told them these things because I told them as like my friend. Then I'm talking to them again. They're like, "You told me this," and I'm like, "Why would I? Like, why? Why on earth did I tell you this thing?" So it's always nice when like a friendship blossoms into a romance. It's like you know them when things are even happening between you guys. When things are a bit turbulent, it's like I know they like me. I know they care about me. I know they would not hurt me. Yeah, this thing is happening right now, but I know we still choose ourselves and stuff like that. So I think the friendship part is good because when
Yeah.
I did it without friendship, it was like, I don't know what this person thinks of me. I don't know what they are thinking about. I don't know if they care about me. Do you get? But I know that like
Yeah.
all these things happen. Like there are people that meet each other and they just like each other and they're able to grow their friendship after the romance. That happens as well.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just going to say that of course friendship is a very very significant element,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to love. You need friendship even if you do not start out as friends. You
Yes.
need to be able to build some level of friendship because I'm telling you, on so many days you will not love that person. But what will keep me going is the fact that despite being mad at them, despite being annoyed by some of the things
Mm-hmm.
they do or don't do, you still just really, really like them. And that just makes all the difference. So, yeah, friendship is a very, very critical element, to love. I
Love,
myself,
yeah.
I ended up marrying someone I'd known for years and I'd been friends
Mm-hmm.
with for years. And I would say that a major aspect of why our marriage has been so good and has worked, in many aspects for all these years is the fact that we were friends before. And even after
Yeah.
marriage, we have friendships. Sometimes I tell people that I feel like, it's more my friend than my husband on some days, and that's what keeps us going. So, yeah, friendship is a really important
And
element when it comes to love.
I feel like this is also a very slippery slope. Like
Mhm.
being friends with your partner. Sometimes it leads to complacency. I don't know if that's the word. Or
Oh,
like
yes.
where you guys just feel so comfortable with each other that you become more of friends than lovers.
Yep.
It's like you are together, you care about each other, you like each other, but the romance is going off, going off. That
Yep.
is yeah. It's like a slippery slope. Have you like had cases like that? Like
Oh yes, it happens all the time. In
mm-hmm.
most long-term relationships, right? Give it to 3 years, and then without any deliberate, effort or
Yeah.
attention, complacency starts getting into, the whole situation. You guys just get comfortable with a particular rhythm where you're just
Yeah.
doing your thing, and that they will understand, and the romance just starts
Yeah.
to die off.
They know
In
I love
fact,
them.
it's
I know
something that
I know
happened in my own marriage too, if I'm being
yeah.
quite honest. And it's only recently that we've actually began to do the work to build that romance aspect again. So it's something that a lot of couples have to be aware of, especially if they
Yeah.
have that kind of like really good friendship dynamic and then they've been together for such a long time. It's still finished, so you want to make sure that that
Tiffany,
finish
yeah.
doesn't enter your relationship dynamic, that you continue to not just see them as this wonderful person you're really in love with,
Yeah.
but I continue to court and woo them and seduce them, and I'm off the romance
Yes, I just be
relationship.
cute. You guys,
Yeah,
like, we need to long term relationships are like this, like you said. But you guys need to like continually woo yourselves in the relationship as well.
yeah, you have to
Like
keep dating. You just have to keep
yes, yes,
dating.
just keep on doing things, be dynamic, do interesting things, fun things, and things that are weird, sometimes childish. Just do nice things, really. Okay,
Yeah.
so talking about anger, if communicating with your partner constantly leaves you angry and upset, then you guys do not love each other anymore. True or false?
False.
Constantly leaves you angry and upset. Emphasis on constantly. You guys do not love each other anymore. False?
False. Yes.
Okay, so my mom always says this. She's like, when you love somebody, when you go to their place, when you come back, you should be blushing. Like you should just sit on the couch and just smile, and people will be like, what's wrong with you? But when you come back from your partner's place and you are angry, and your emotions are heightened and you're screaming and like communicating with them just always like gets you so furious, then you should watch and run away. But now you're saying false. Why
Mm.
are you saying false? Like I'm like, are you sure?
Okay, I'm saying false because anger is an emotion you feel. when
Yeah.
someone has the power to elicit that emotion from you. The person
Mm.
doesn't have the power to make you angry. They won't make you angry. They can make you upset. They can make you slightly annoyed. But anger,
Mm-hmm.
there has to be a level of emotional commitment for someone to be able to make you angry.
Okay.
So, if you are still being angry in a relationship, that is, not often, not always, but that's often a sign that you guys are still in love with each other, and you still want to make things work, right? But if it gets
Wow.
to the point where you're not even feeling anger anymore, like it's just indifference, like they do and undo and you're not even bothered, or maybe just like mild annoyance, that's when
Yeah.
you know that okay, yeah, the love is really, really started to fizzle out. And because I deal with human minds and I know that we exist in so many different shades of gray, I'll say it's never really one thing or the other, right? There are so many things that could contribute to the constant conflict, the constant anger. Sometimes it
Wow.
might just be things above, like both of their, like it's not really like above your power, but above what they're capable to undo at that point in
At that
time.
point in
Probably
time.
because they don't have the right tools and resources to be able to undo the particular issue, and then it just keeps snowballing
Mm-hmm.
into bigger and bigger conflicts. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they no longer love each other. And I'm saying
Well.
this again from the perspective of a marriage counselor. A lot of times, or a relationship counselor, as case may be, a lot of times couples come into sessions with me and there's just so much resentment, so much anger, so much
Mm-hmm.
chaos. But then you can tell that these people really still love each other.
Mm.
They just don't know how to start making
Ha-
things work, but they really still want to be
Well.
together. And that's one of the things that is even fueling that anger and contributing to that anger, because I love you, you love me. Why
Why
can't that
you?
be
Why you
enough?
fucking
Why
up?
can't
Why
we
you
just
acting
make it
up?
work, right? But then by
Yeah.
the time you begin to do the work with them in counseling and arm them with the tools
Mm-hmm.
and resources that they need, and they're able to successfully repair that relationship, you see how much they begin to blossom together. So in those moments, yeah, the level of love might have reduced, it might have increased,
Mm-hmm.
but it is still there. Now, there are situations in which that it might be the case that, yeah, because these people are having a lot of conflicts, they really do not love each other anymore. Why do I say that? In cases where one person has already fallen out of love, or the other person is just so drained from the constant conflict that they're like, I can't do this anymore, I can't do this anymore. But because of
Mm-hmm.
history, but because this person has had so much, unfettered emotional access to you for so long, they still have a
Mm-hmm.
way to get on your emotions. You both are really, really done with the relationship. You probably not even gotten to that point of awareness that this keeps happening because we are really not in this any longer, but you are both
Mm-hmm.
done, and because you're
Done.
both done, you just keep having all of these issues. So that could also be the case where it's really that there's no more love in the relationship, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not always the case. There are also cases where people are fighting a lot, but they still love each other and they still want to make it work, they just don't know how. Yeah.
Mm. That's so nice. You just keep proving yourself that you're a relationship coach. Not before mouth. You're certified. You're
Please, please,
experienced as well.
please.
So this is the last true or false question, yeah?
Okay.
Jollof rice is better than fried rice. True or false?
Hey, my God, why are you doing this to me? If you asked
This
me
should
this
not be a tough
question
one,
years
though.
ago, I would have told you false. Like, straight up false. Because I did not used to like jollof rice. But
Mm-hmm.
now I love jollof rice as much as I love fried rice. So please, let me say, both are good, both are wonderful. Please don't let me do anything.
I'll tag you a foodie. 'Cause why don't you pick
I
one?
am. I'm proud of it. I am absolutely certified foodie. I mean, jollof rice when cooked right, and then fried rice. Like fried rice,
Mm.
I just finished eating. I made fried rice last Sunday. I was just eating like 2 days
Oh.
ago. That fried rice, it just reminds me that God is good and life is good. So I can't choose.
See, look at the enthusiasm you used to talk about food. Ha!
Oh
Ha!
my God, food is life. Food is life. Food is life.
Well, before we go into like the other segment or aspect of the pod, so my goal for this podcast this year is to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm on 308 right now. We started the year with 288, you guys. I don't think 1K is impossible really, but I don't know how it's going to happen. I just want it to happen. So if you're listening right now, I'm just begging you to please subscribe on YouTube. You guys, you're not paying for it, it's free. Please subscribe, like, and share this episode with your friends, your frenemies, your enemies. your besties, your parents, anybody.
Everybody, please, please,
Everybody,
please,
really.
please,
And if you're
please.
listening to us on Spotify as well, or Apple Music, or Apple Podcast, sorry, just please follow the pod and rate us 5-star rating. If you can't give us 5-star, please just leave me alone. Leave me alone. But yeah, thank you. And comforts. Now, I want us to talk about you a little bit, just
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
I think you started out as, actually, you've been active before I even became active online. Really, like I feel like you've been on Twitter, like you had been tweeting and just being a vocal person on Twitter from way back. I joined Twitter recently, and I'm already out. I don't know how you're still there, but that's an aside. Um, but as a brand, I think I got to know you first as a brand from Phoenix, when you named yourself Phoenix, which is like a very personal name. It's like a reflection of, a rebirth, like you rising from something. And I want you to just give us a bit of the backstory, to the extent to which you can share. How did the name Phoenix come about, and why did you brand yourself with that name at that point?
Okay, so Phoenix actually goes way back. I
Oh.
think way back to when I was in pedigree. So from secondary school, we used to give
Oh.
ourselves, all those unique nicknames, and I moved through a lot of nicknames in secondary school. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
So I was dynamite at some point, and all the
Huh.
boys in my class were really eating it up because they were like, "Yes, you're really dynamite." I don't even look for trouble, but if you come and look for my trouble, hey, hey, hey,
Hey,
I
explode.
will give you. So, and then I was like, dynamite is too destructive. So I took on Firefly,
Mhm.
and I really love Firefly. This was something my sister used to call me, and I was
Mhm.
Firefly for such a long time. But then I got into pedigree, and I think I was rewatching the Harry Potter series again. And
Okay.
there's a part, if you've seen the Harry Potter series, there's a part where it's basically about the Phoenix, right? So I was like,
Mhm.
that's when I did watch Harry Potter series as a child. I'd gotten to know
Okay.
about the Phoenix bird, but that was when I really became fascinated with the creature named as the mythical creature named as a phoenix. So a
Thanks.
phoenix bird is basically a bird that lives for 1,000 years, burns into ashes, and then rises from its ashes. And it's really
Mhm.
just used to connote rebirth, resilience, and perseverance. So I picked up Phoenix in pedigree. I don't even remember what made me pick it up, funny enough. But I picked it up in pedigree, and then I got into school on a level. I dropped it. I became Bloom. So everyone was, if there are people from my other level, my department would still call me Bloom. So everyone was calling me Bloom,
Mhm.
Bloom, 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 Bloom. And then I think, yes, in that other level, I got into a very, very crazy relationship. I think, and that was like the start of my mental health descent. When I started really having
Mhm.
mental health challenges, that was when I first got diagnosed with depression and all of that. So I think in my tutoring level, I started recovering slowly from that, and I wanted to open my Instagram account in tutoring level, and I was asked to put in my username. So the first thing that came to my mind was Phoenix, but then when I put in
Mhm.
Phoenix, it asked me to, add numbers because apparently Phoenix was already taken. So they're giving me this mama, and I hate adding numbers to my usernames. So there was something that was really trending then. People were adding their favorite colors to, their usernames
Mhm.
online. So Imani White, Faith Black, Tade
Uh-huh.
Purple. So I was like, oh, black was my favorite color at the time then. So I
Mhm.
just made it Phoenix Black, and that was my Instagram handle. So fast forward to I think when I was in 400 level, yes, another relationship turned sour. I was
Yeah.
ghosted, and whilst I was being ghosted, I was seeing him actively, on WhatsApp status, talking about the time he was having on Twitter, but my messages were going unreplied, my calls were not getting returned. So it
That's
was
crazy.
really, really, yeah, just really crazy. So what I did was I was like, okay, what's on this Twitter that is taking all of his attention, but not giving me any. So I decided to open a Twitter account. That was November 18th, 2018, or 2018, I
Oh.
forget. So I opened
Mhm.
a Twitter account, and I basically opened this like with a fake alias, fake profile picture, everything, because I wanted to stalk him. I wanted to see what was going on. So I didn't just follow him. I followed him and all his friends. Sorry, excuse me. I forgot even on, and then I was
No
watching
worries.
their actions online,
Heartbreak, look what you made me do.
and what I saw was he was trying to build his Twitter following, and it was a fine boy.
Mhm.
I'll give him that. It was a really, really fine boy,
Mhm.
and so girls were really into him, and he was shamelessly flirting on the timeline, and he was
Wow.
getting all of this attention, and then it made
Mhm.
sense. But apparently I wasn't a good, I wasn't as good a spy as I thought I
We're
was,
not
because
slick.
he actually caught on to me, and then he sent me a message, and he was like, why are you, like, he sent me, I think, my username was pure bliss. So he sent me a message and it was like, pure bliss. I was like, what? I was like, oh, you think I don't know it's you? You love pure bliss biscuits. Suddenly, a pure bliss
God.
family and all my friends a new account, and she's stalking my profile. It can be no other person but you. Why are you doing that?
God.
Anyway, long story short is the relationship ended. Obviously, I think that
Mhm.
December really, because my birthday was on the 27th. His birthday was on the 29th, and he didn't do anything for my birthday. He's a writer, and he basically just posted, "A queen was born today, hip 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 hooray," on his WhatsApp status, and that was it.
Can we pause for a minute? Like hip 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 a queen was really, you know,
Yeah,
really no.
that was it.
And at that point, like people were into like writing things, writing captions, because I think we had just started
we
using WhatsApp
we
status at the
met in a
time.
writers community, and that was how we met. We met in the
Are
writers
you
community. We
serious?
met in
Like,
February. We started dating in March. So at that time, we had been dating for almost a year,
uh-huh.
and a queen was born today, hip 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 hooray.
Wow.
That was all
Romance,
I
romance,
got.
romance is being a lot, is becoming a lost art. But like the funny thing is, talking about captions and romantic captions, I was like, the gift I want for my birthday this year, when I thought, yeah, I don't want to say my age, is I want everyone to write, like everyone says, oh Buki, you're sweet, oh Buki, you're cool, oh I want to see it in like in details, like tell
Yeah,
me how
give
sweet
me
am I
X's.
to you. That is what I want. Like I want to bask in that euphoria. Like I want to read, I want to be happy. Then you're not
Same.
saying you're writing a queen was born for your babe. No, that's really bad. And at this
My
time when he
but
wrote the caption, had you started stalking him on on Twitter? Or was he
yeah,
after
so
Twitter?
the stalking on street act, okay, so the ghosting started happening in August.
You guys were still
Um
dating and he was ghosting you.
Yes, so the ghost started happening in August. Funny story, like, okay, let me give you a little bit background. It was a couple when I met him, and
Oh, okay.
we got together. And I was a writer, he was a writer. So he connected me with some of the people who used to give him writing gigs, and that person connected me
Mm-hmm.
with other people who had writing gigs because they really loved my work. And then suddenly I was getting a lot of gigs, and I was doing
Mm-hmm.
so well. And I think that's when I started noticing, his behavior changing towards me. Like there's some kind of discomfort that I was
Mm-hmm.
feeling better, so to speak. But I didn't clock it. In fact, I didn't even clock it until the relationship was over. Now then I started seeing what was going on. So after service, there was a little bit of period he was looking for a job because I think he finished service in April, and then he was looking for a job for like a couple of months. So things were a little bit rough for him, and then I
Mm-hmm.
started getting gigs, and I got my first laptop. I got my own apartment. So it felt like things were going well for me. And I was just trying to really be supportive during that period. And even when
I
he
mean,
finally got
someone
a
that put
job,
you on and stuff, you would make
yeah.
excuses for them.
Exactly. And when he got a job, I sent him this whole like work resumption package, a whole big box of, clothing, accessories,
Mm-hmm.
he got a job as a banker. So I did that, and in August, that's when I started to do that things had really changed. The calls reduced, the messages reduced. At first, I just resumed work. I'm so busy. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But it just kept going on and on. August, September, October, nothing was changing. And then November was when, the old Twitter thing started. So I was like, okay, it's really, really not his job. Because if he has so much time to spend on Twitter, then he should have just as much time to be able to,
Yeah, to communicate with you.
reply my message, pick up my calls, return my calls. So when he found out I was talking him on Twitter, we had already had the conversation. We had been having the conversation about is like inconsistency. over
Mhm.
the period of time. And then he would always give excuses and apologies and promise to do better, but he wouldn't do better. Maybe for like a week, and then to go back to status quo. So when he found out I was stalking him on Twitter, and then he reached out, I brought up the conversation again, and then I was really like, you know what, I'm really, really done with the relationship because you're flirting online, you know.
Mhm.
So where does this leave us? It's obvious that you're no longer interested in this. So let's just break it off. But he seemed so remorseful. And he called me, he was crying, he was
Um.
apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry. The flirting online meant nothing. He was just trying to build up his, presence to make Twitter
Mhm.
an extra source of income. That's how it is on Twitter. That's how people do on Twitter. Also, so I loved him. I still loved him. So I was
Yeah.
willing to try again. So my birthday was the last straw, really. Not necessarily my birthday, but that period of time was the last straw. So he didn't give me anything for my birthday.
Yeah.
He didn't call me. He didn't even send me any real birthday wish. Just that one WhatsApp post about a queen was born today. So I lost my cool. And then that evening, I sent a message to him. I was so mad because before then, I'd actually like ordered his birthday gift and sent over to him. And then he
Mhm.
kept trying to deliver his birthday gifts, but it kept being unavailable, right? So it was
Mhm.
later that I realized that he didn't want to accept the birthday gifts because
Because
he
he didn't get
knew
anything for you.
that didn't get anything from me exactly. So I called him that evening, like, okay, he was like, oh, why are you so mad? But I wished you, I posted your picture. I was like, really?
Really?
You posted my picture like I was a friend. Like, it's something
Really?
you post for anybody. A queen was born today. If hooray. Like,
As well now.
really? You are, oh my god, I almost called his name now. You are alright. Like you're right. This is what you do. Even if you couldn't give me anything else, I bet
Mhm.
you could have written a very, very sweet episode for
Sweet
me
text. Uh
because this
huh.
was the first birthday we were celebrating together. So man, go all out. So that was when things really began to unravel, I think, because he wasn't apologetic, wasn't remorseful, and I just knew then that this relationship was really over. But I still wanted him to get his birthday gifts, so I still kept trying to, make sure, like I keep,
Mhm.
activating a retry of delivery, and then when it was
Mhm.
the fourth time and it still wasn't available, I just cancelled the order and had the money refunded back to me. And then I sent him this long message. I think this was on January 2nd, that I didn't think our relationship could work anymore, that it was obvious he was no longer interested in this. And I was done with it. It was a very long paragraph. And if I'm being quite honest, there was still a part of me that hoped that if he saw that paragraph, you would,
Would
feel
respond.
pricked, and then
Yeah.
you would, okay, let's try again. And then I was like, I think it's just better for us to go back to being just friends because we started out
Mhm.
as friends. And then his only response to me was, okay, yeah, I think that's the best. And that was when I knew that, okay,
Yeah.
there's nothing
Like
here anymore. So that
fighting a
ended,
lost
but I didn't leave
battle.
Twitter because at that
Yeah.
point in time, I'd already fallen in love with Twitter. I've gotten kind of addicted, really. People, I've always been opinionated. I did not start from Twitter. I started from Facebook when I was in secondary school. It got to the point
Yeah.
where I had to block, I had to leave Facebook because most of my teachers had found me on Facebook, and then they'll come to me the next day in school whenever I posted something that
Mhm.
went viral, and then they'll be like, you this small girl, what do you know about love? What do you know about career? This is what you're using your time to do. You're posting on Facebook. So I just basically I closed down my Facebook account, and then I had like a
Mhm.
cyber stalker that was making my life hell. Anyway, I just closed down my Facebook account, so I was just posting mostly on WhatsApp status. So people would screenshot my WhatsApp status and post on their own. Who is this bitch? She's always speaking fast. Please give me a number. Let me
Mhm.
add her up.
Mhm.
So it did not start on Twitter. So when I got to Twitter, I just carried that by opinionated, um attitude to Twitter. There was no brand to consider. I was just a girl. I was just
Yeah.
saying
Just doing
whatever
your
came to
thing.
mind. I wasn't weighing
Mhm.
my mind. If something was trending, I would contribute, and people really loved what I had to say. So more and more people started following me. And then one day, I posted my picture, and everything just phew, scattered.
As a fine babe that you are.
I posted that picture, and overnight I had over 2,000 new followers. That picture had over
Wow.
10,000 likes. So the attention was, it was new. I'd always been in the spotlight, even as a child,
Mm-hmm.
pageantries, debates, essay competitions, but like online attention, that much online attention, it was new for me, and I'm not going to like go into my head. So I was like, you know what, I'm here to stay. And then I had just got up on the God series, and I'd hated Sansa Stark from season one up until when she
Mm-hmm.
started getting her character development, and by the end of the series, she was the character I loved the most, and I just loved that journey.
Mm-hmm.
From such a silly, babe to becoming the queen of the north. That's my girl. That is the kind of story I can relate to. So I
Actually.
took on her name, Sansa Stark, as my alias on
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, and I ran with that until, well, I don't know, it feels like most of the major turning points in my life are marked by relationships gone bad.
You
Well,
know that I posted on my WhatsApp status one day. I was like, how did I put it? I'm trying to think now. I think I was talking about me not giving an F about what people think about me. That I want to really get to that point where I do not care again. And somebody responded. They were like, just you just need to feel a different kind of pain, and you watch
mm,
that change happen in real time. And I was like, I do not have the capacity for pain anymore. But like from what you're saying now, it just happens where pain brings out this new version
yep,
of us. Like
yep.
it brings up something else, something
It
different,
does.
something new.
It
Yeah.
absolutely does. And for me, I'd say, yeah, like I would say most of the moments in my life when I've had breakthrough have been moments when I went through the worst kind of pain, and then I just
Mm-hmm.
told myself, this is not going to break me. I'm going to
Yeah.
rise from this. So I got into another relationship, and this was the worst one by far. It was
Yeah.
so abusive. It was such an abusive relationship, and it took me a while to be able to get out of the relationship. But because it was public and many people knew us together,
Mm-hmm.
things just really went haywire after I left the relationship. A smear campaign was launched against me. It became this really huge blown out scandal, and my life
Mm-hmm.
basically fell apart. And Twitter was no longer it was never a safe space. But
Yeah, but
I didn't care. I could navigate the messiness of it all because I mean, I was like always on the sidelines watching the mess
mm-hmm.
unfold. But then this time around, the mess was me. So I took a break. I took a long break from not just Twitter, but from creating at all. For like a
Mm-hmm.
year plus, I wasn't really creating for myself. I mean, I still had my ghostwriting job, so I was still doing that as just a job, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't creating for myself any longer. I wasn't sharing my thoughts. I wasn't sharing my opinions. I just really, really, it was a really, really tough time. I basically just,
Yeah.
yeah, I was in theory, I was doing okay. I got married. I was happy on my wedding day. I had
Yeah.
beautiful wedding ceremony. Life was moving on for me, but mentally, emotionally, I was still really, really stuck. But I think 2 years later, yeah, it all went down in 2020. But then I think no, not even up to 2 years, a year plus later, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something happened again related to that same situation, and I was spiraling really, really badly. I got into a really dark place again. Then my husband, gave me a pep talk, basically, a kind of like tough love pep talk. And that
Yeah.
was like a real wake up call for me because
Mm-hmm.
it was like, all of this is happening to you because you continue to be so obsessed about what people think about you.
Mm.
But you need to
Actually.
know that no matter how much you try to defend your truth, no matter how much you repeat the same thing you said over and over again, no matter how perfect your story is, no matter how many evidence you have to back yourself up, the people who do not want to believe you will not believe you. Even if you were
Mm-hmm.
and the judge ruled in your favor, people who do not want to believe you would say you bribed the judge. You if it were a male judge, they would
Mm-hmm.
probably offered sexual favors to the judge. The
Mm-hmm.
judge would never believe you. And you need to know that those people who would not believe you, they don't matter,
Yeah,
right?
people choose
Because
what they want to
the people
believe.
who truly
Yeah,
matter already believe you. They
actually.
already do. So that is all you should care about. And whether nobody else believes you, you know the truth. You know. So that
Mm-hmm.
should be more than enough for you. If you keep cowering, if you keep hiding, if you keep spiraling because, oh, nobody believes me, everyone has turned against me, it's not going to end well. Like, you have to just say, you know what?
Mhm.
I don't care. Believe what you want to believe. I did not lie. This is my truth, and
Mhm.
I'm going to stop hiding. So that was such a significant turning point for me, because the moment I let go of the need to be believed, of the need for people to think I was the one saying the truth, it felt like I had broken shackles.
Yeah, kind of liberation,
So
like,
I was
yeah.
like, you know what? I'm going to rise from this. So I
Mhm.
wasn't ready to go back to Twitter. So I decided to start building on Instagram. Like I love sharing, I
Okay.
love creating, and I don't want like people who have gone through the same thing that I've gone through. I want to be able to reach out to them, and people who might possibly go through the same thing I've gone through. I want to be able to connect with them before they go through that.
Mhm.
So that was when I started building on Instagram again. So going back to Instagram, my username had always been Phoenix Black. It did not change on Instagram. And then
Yeah.
starting all over again, I was like, okay, yeah, this Phoenix actually more than ever, it fits where I
Means
am at this point in my
something.
life.
Yeah.
I'm rising again from
Mhm.
ashes, and I'm just going to keep going. So that was how I coined Phoenix Black, and that was how Phoenix Black moved from being just an Instagram username to being a brand. So yeah, long
Yeah.
story, but that's it.
A
I'm
very
already
interesting long story. A very,
there.
would I even say interesting? Was filled with so many emotions. Went on a ride from like the you stalking and being caught like brave. Like how did you not know how to do your work properly? That was just a very funny one. And I
I
think
was
the
rookie. Please, I never
do
done
you know
that
the funny thing
before.
is I pay attention to details to that extent that I feel like I don't know. I've had feelings of being stalked as well, and I get to know them because I check usernames of people. You view my story.
Mm.
I'm looking at you. Why do you have just one follower? What are people you're following? Why are you following only my friends? So like I have questions every other time. So yeah, you just that's like a rookie mistake, honestly. Okay, so from everything we've said, yeah, I want to know why. Like we've had relationships with bad people, and the process of like going through heartbreak, I think it will have you like blaming yourself, cussing yourself out as well. And I wanted to know, like, why do we sometimes see dating the wrong people as a personal failure and not as
Mm.
like a life situation that just happens? It's like you're with the wrong person and they fuck up, you did everything right in the relationship, but somehow you take up, like you even sometimes you become shy, you become ashamed of the breakup. You can't tell people that this person, I was in a relationship that I couldn't tell my friends like what was happening in the relationship because I didn't want them to see me as a very stupid person or as a fool or yeah. So why do we tend to take like dating the wrong people, dating the wrong type of person as a personal failure?
Oh my god, I love this question so much because it is so real.
Yeah.
OMG. Woo.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay, so let me answer it. I'll say that a major part of it has to do with upbringing, and another major part of it
Yeah.
has to do with culture in
Mhm.
general. Upbringing in the sense that for a lot of people, they grew up in households where they just didn't get enough love and reassurance, right?
Mhm.
And the way I like to explain childhood trauma is if it's like you're making a clay pot, you're making pottery. And you'll notice that when you see potters doing their work, they're usually very careful around that crafting stage.
Mhm.
Because if anything goes wrong, it's going to stay with the clean until it becomes a
Mhm.
vase. So whatever goes wrong at that stage stays until the final stage. So most times when it goes wrong, we'll just discard it or start all over again because
Yeah.
any deformity stays. That's the same thing with childhood trauma, right? When we are young, our minds are still very, very soft and malleable,
Mhm.
like every other aspect of us, right? So
Mhm.
whatever is happening on our psychological plane at that point in our lifetime has really, really great power to affect us on a deep
Mhm.
detrimental level. Now, because let's not lie, actually, when we come back to Nigerian setting, African setting in general,
Yeah.
many of us have parents who know nothing about emotional
Oh,
regulation, about
yeah.
mental health preservation,
Mhm.
because when they grew up, it was in our generation that these things actually became a thing. So most of them didn't know. Most of them
True.
even had trauma that they were not aware of. They were struggling with
Mhm.
their own things. Many of them didn't know how to be good parents. They didn't know what it took to be parent. And this is not an
Mhm.
indictment on them. It's just saying the way it is. So what
Yeah.
happens is that many children grew up in the environment where they weren't given the love that they deserved, the love
Actually.
that they really needed at that very
Mm-hmm.
crucial developmental stage. And when a child is neglected, when a child is abandoned, when a child is not loved or cherished, the child is so young, so clueless that they don't have the capacity to think that I am not being loved because this person does not have the capacity to love me. What the child
Mm-hmm.
thinks is, I am not being loved because I am not worthy of being loved. So that's where it begins, the internalization of, if people don't treat me well, it's because I'm not worthy of being treated well. Now, when you take it a step further into homes that it wasn't just neglect, it wasn't just abandonment, it was pure abuse. It was
Mm-hmm.
emotional put down. It was nagging. It was manipulation. It was, verbal abuse. Oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you don't know how to do anything right. Oh, but we love you. Mbeke, see how you look. Oh, she's the fatty fatty.
Mm-hmm.
They just grow up thinking there is something seriously wrong about me. You don't do well in school. You are punished. Anytime you fail at anything, you only receive love when you act in a certain way. This
Mm-hmm.
creates that cycle and psychic belief that I have to earn love. So if I am not
Mm-hmm.
getting love, it means I have not earned love. If I am not getting love, it means it's a failure on my part. Right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
when this grows with someone into adulthood, what that happens is that when they find themselves in relationships where their partners are acting wrong while they're doing everything right, they take it to mean a personal failure because it's
Mm.
what they've all known or that they've always thought of their life. Now, cultural, what I mean by cultural is we have a culture of victim blaming.
Well,
A
yeah.
woman gets cheated on by a partner, it has to be her fault.
You're not
Someone gets
dressing well.
robbed
You're
by
not
a
wearing the
thief,
right things.
exactly.
You're not
Someone
giving
gets
me
robbed by
food.
a thief, you were not security conscious enough. If
Mm.
someone gets sexually abused, you must have, in
Right.
one way or the other, brought it upon
Yeah.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
So it's just every time something goes wrong, people's first thought is to castigate the person who has been affected by that harm
Mm-hmm.
and try to
Mm-hmm.
tell them in so many ways that they could have avoided that harm, right? If they had
Mm-hmm.
just done something differently. And then they shame them, they castigate them, and then they want to hide and crawl away. So that also falls into our relationship because relationships often follow social or cultural scripts, as the case might be.
Mm-hmm.
So when the person is in a relationship and things go wrong in that relationship, childhood trauma and then the culture of victim blaming falls into place, and the person is thinking, oh, this is a personal failure, not this is that failure. And it takes so
Yeah.
much to be able to break free from that, to be able to get to the point where you're like, okay, is this person who failed? Not I who failed. It's not on me, it's all on them.
Hmm.
It takes a lot to get to that point. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a very brilliant answer. You know, when you were giving the answer, I was like, the first part, I was like, but I grew up in love. I wasn't like, I didn't have a traumatic childhood per se from family. Then you got to the next point, bro, where you have like the victim blaming. Even our parents do it out of love. Like, why are you not careful? Why would you allow the plates to break and stuff like that? Yeah, you're so on point. So on point. So do you know that we have a lot to talk about and we've gotten to the 1 hour point and I'm like, how do I manage this conversation? What do I do?
No, right? If you're worried about my time, don't worry, don't worry. I have a pretty flexible
Okay. Okay.
day.
Okay. So when we have like someone who has suffered from like bad relationships, heartbreaks, like severally, how do you advise them? Like, how do you think they can find the courage to love again?
Hmm.
Like I don't know, probably from working with people, what do you think was that thing? I know there's no one formula to it, but what's that thing you think they could do, they could make themselves believe that they would see that it's not the end of the road. They say one wrong person, two wrong people, three, four, five, six does not mean there's no right person for you out there.
I would say it can be hard. For some
Yeah.
people, it comes easily to them because they just never lose that hope. Tying to
Mm-hmm.
what you said, like how come people get heartbroken over and over again and they still want to love, right?
Yeah.
It's hope. They just never lose that hope that the next person will be the right person for them, right? There's also some, psychological explanations, but I don't want to get too
Mhm.
technical, so we can put that aside. But yeah, how does someone find the courage to love again
Sorry.
after being hurt so many times? I'll say, so many things can happen from a place of healing. A lot of magic
Mm.
happens from a place of healing. It's just like a battlefield that
Yeah.
has been bombed and left desolate and destitute for so long. Nothing will probably grow on that battlefield again unless people begin to do the work to make something grow. So when people come and
Mm.
they clear the field, they add manure, they water it, they plant the seed, then before
Yeah.
you know it, it can become a garden once more. It can
Yeah.
become, a forest once more. So that's the same thing. If you've been heartbroken, by the time you begin to go through the process of healing, you get to the point where you find the courage to love again. Now, the process of healing, because healing makes you do a lot of introspective work, right? It
Mhm.
addresses all the emotional wounds that all of those heartbreaks have caused. It addresses all the limiting beliefs, all the mindset, negative mindset that heartbreak has caused. And then it also
Mhm.
makes you see things from a clearer perspective where you're no longer blaming yourself or thinking, oh, you are cursed, you are wrong. You're able to see things like, okay, this relationship went wrong because of this particular reason,
Yeah.
right? And if
Mhm.
this reason were no longer there, then it is possible that the next relationship could go right. It also helps people recognize their patterns, right? Sometimes the reason why it seems like you keep dating the same person in a different body can be trauma. You have a specific attachment
Mm.
pattern that keeps drawing you to those kind of people. But then when you do the work of healing and then you recognize that pattern and you break that pattern, you break that cycle, you are able
Mhm.
to, you have more chances of saying, oh my God, yeah, now that I know better, I'm in a position where I could possibly choose better because I know the
Actually.
signs to look out for. I know the
Mhm.
signs to avoid. And if I'm choosing to let someone into my life, then they have to be the better person for me. And then also getting to the place of healing. Sometimes we choose out of desperation, out of anxiety, out of the fear of
Mhm.
being alone, sometimes out of boredom, out of feeling like our life is very, very unfulfilled and only having
Mhm.
a partner will fulfill our life. But when you do the work to heal, healing helps you to self actualize in the sense that you become confident, you become secure in
Yeah.
who you are, you cultivate this rich, beautiful, fulfilling life for yourself. You're able to pour yourself so much love, you're able to build healthy, social connections with people
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that when you're not thinking of settling down with someone romantically, automatically your mindset shift is the person I'm letting into my life is someone that's going to make my life even more beautiful in the
Yeah.
following years because you've got to that place of healing. So when you do the work, it just makes your mind the fertile ground for love to grow.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a really good one. Like we have to get to we shouldn't jump processes because there are people that will just go from one wrong relationship into another one without even having a moment of like without having just that moment to retrospect, like to just think about things, what went wrong. It's always good to self-evaluate and try to figure things out basically.
Yeah.
So Phoenix, you've recently announced to us on Instagram that
Yeah.
you're rebranding and you're moving from Phoenix Black to Blooming Hat.
Mm.
And that feels like moving from something that is like a personal label, like that's very significant to you, to something that is more community driven, that is
Yeah.
very healing focused and very focused on the outside, sort of. So it's not like
Yeah.
your brand now; it's like our brand. It's like we're
Yeah.
doing this together. And when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, this is a very bold step, very bold step, because it's not easy letting go of something that has shaped you over these all these years. And personally, this week I had a lot of like I had to think a lot about knowing when to let go of certain things because I feel like a lot of things have stalled me professionally because I'm holding on to things that I should not hold on to. Like, how did you know it was time for you to let go of Phoenix and hold on to Blooming Heart? And what motivated that switch?
Okay, I would say that one very important sign that your life needs to change is when you begin feeling very, very dissatisfied with your life as it is. Right, you wake
Mhm.
up, there's no excitement, to do life as you've always
Mhm.
done it, to follow the same routine. You just there's just this like knowing in your soul that there can be more, there should be more.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be doing more, but why am I here? So once you start feeling that way, that is a sign that you need
You have
reinvention.
to let go. Mm-hmm.
As humans, I don't think we were meant to be one thing, for all our lives. I think, the very nature of humanity, of even existence,
Mm-hmm.
is evolution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we also need to be willing to evolve. Sometimes we just realize we're no longer where we need to be, and it's time for us to reinvent. So for me, what brought about this change was, okay. So I've been building my brand for a number of years now. I think I went full time self employed in 2023. And
Mm-hmm.
the plan was, oh, I wanted to make as much money as people were making from the internet. So there was
Mm-hmm.
2023 and there was 2024, and then I started reading this brand in 2021. So it just felt like I was putting in so much effort, but nothing
Yeah.
was really coming out. I
Mm-hmm.
could see the progress other people were making, and it felt like I wasn't making that progress. I was stalling. So I knew something was wrong, and I was very, very dissatisfied with, how slowly we were moving in terms of the result I really wanted us to get, that we weren't
Mm-hmm.
getting with Miss Black. So I knew something had to change. So it didn't even come from a name change, so to speak. It came from knowing that I wanted to change the structure of the brand, the work we do, how we operated. I wanted to become more serious with actually building it as a business and company, than building it as a
Mm-hmm.
brand. And always, for so long, I think I lacked a strong level of foresight. So I'm this kind of person who is always up in my head. I'm always planning. I always have these dreams. I always
Mm-hmm.
have these
Mm-hmm.
visions. But for so long, I couldn't see what the next step was for Phoenix Black. Right? Okay, yeah. So we post, we get brand deals, we release original
Mm-hmm. Then what
products.
next?
But what
Mm-hmm.
next, right? I couldn't see what the next step was for Phoenix Black. But when I took that break last year, the break wasn't just because I was sick, I was burnt out, and then I got depressed. It was just a lot. But one of the major things that fueled the break was I was very, very dissatisfied with my brand's progression. So I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and I prayed about it as well because that's something I do often. And it slowly started coming to me, the what next part, what we
Mm-hmm.
could build this into and how far it could go. And then I had this very clear vision of, opening a wellness center and then eventually
Yeah.
opening a wellness resort. And so
Mm-hmm.
when I began to think in that way, I knew that Phoenix Black would no longer do it. What even is Phoenix Black, right? That is a question I've gotten for so long. So I just knew
Mm-hmm.
that, this if this had to grow beyond me, then our identity had to be beyond me as well, right?
Yeah.
So that was when I began to know that I had to let go of the name Phoenix Black. Also, I felt like in a way, it had held me back, to some extent, because for some, I was still defining myself by what I survived. But I've grown beyond
Yeah.
that. I'm no longer what I survived. I'm so much more than that. It's been years. That part of me is way in the past. I've healed from it. I'm in a
Mm-hmm.
much better place right now. So we can leave it. Like we can. It's okay. We can leave you
It's
behind. We can
okay.
step into something greater. We don't have to keep
Mm-hmm.
reminding ourselves that this is where we came from. Let's move on to the future. So that's when I began to brainstorm name changes. I went through so many name changes before I finally settled on Blooming Arts School. So it wasn't like the name change didn't come first. It was, the mindset change, the vision shift, the clarity. All of this came first,
Yeah.
and then the name change followed. And because all of that had happened before, it was so much easier for me to then let go of Finish Black and welcome Blooming Arts
Yeah.
School.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast one day and they were talking about how just changing your name can change a lot of things, like your brand name, your they were really in their context, they were looking at an artist, a song artist, yeah. And they were talking about how the person changed their name and the whole persona just changed and it just redirects you in a way. So I kind of get where that redirection is coming from. And stepping away from the professional side of things a little bit into like relationships, sometimes when our friends are with like bad partners that they need to let go of, we get to know before them that you're with the wrong person. How do we tell them that it is time to let go? Because sometimes we need people to not just to let go of things. Like we need people to tell us that this thing is not working. Like we know that you really like this thing, you really like this person, but it's not working out. How can we say it to our friends? people we care about, that the person they care about romantically is not the right person for them.
Say it as firmly or as kindly as possible. As someone
Hmm.
who was the person who used to be in bad relationships, and our friends be looking at her like, "Girl, and as someone who also make the shift and as over
Mm-hmm.
recent years has been a person who has constantly had to tell people that this relationship is not working for you and you have to work away,
Mm-hmm.
both friends, both clients. I would say honestly, doing soft, it will not work. It will not work. Let me just tell you a brief story. There's a friend of mine who got involved with this guy, and when they got involved, he had broken up from his ex girlfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
He and the ex girlfriend got back together, and their family wanted them to end up together because they had been together for so long, and the family knew them
Yeah.
together. And then my friend was still in the picture, and she was, I was like, "What are you waiting for, girl? It's not going to be like." I have, what actually made, like, for so long I was trying to be very soft with that. Like, if you come and
Yeah.
tell me, you did this, you did that, I'll say, okay, do this, do this. But at the point I got tired, I was like, no, babe, I can't let you continue in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
No. So I
You
was
have
like,
to
that
leave.
day, I have to tell her that, do you know what you are? You are the other woman. The other woman that people don't like. Do you know
Wow.
that if his girlfriend went to go and tell people that, oh, my boyfriend has another girlfriend, oh, nobody will take your side. Nobody wants to
Yeah.
hear your own side of the story. Nobody wants to understand where you're coming from. Everybody will point fingers and say
At
you are
you.
trying to destroy their
Uh-huh.
home. You're trying to, that is what the situation is. And you think he loves you, but he doesn't love you because he's
He
putting you in
doesn't,
this
because it's not that
situation.
hard to make it
Exactly.
make a
He
decision, pick
takes his
somebody.
cake and having it. You are
Exactly.
still there. Whilst he's giving other woman all his attention, all his commitment, and only giving you
The family
breadcrumbs.
even wants somebody else, and you are there. Girl,
Exactly.
run.
So that day, I laid it out straight for her, and yes, she
Mm-hmm.
cried, she wailed because it was like, ha, boom, boom, boom. It was hitting her.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was it was tough love, but it was also kind of because even though I had to be really that firm for her to get it, I didn't say it in a way that was malicious. I was just like, babe, like you really, like, you this is something you need to face. And the next week, she finally broke up for good. And I'm so happy because now she's
Yeah.
married, she has a baby, she's enjoying every time. My
Well,
husband is doing
well,
for me. Ah, I'm so glad I married this person. Oh, he's
okay.
taking care of me. So yeah, just
I'm taking
be
this.
as be
I'm
as
taking it
firm but as kind as possible. But be firm.
possible.
Don't be
Yeah,
soft.
because
Yeah, be firm. Let them know.
I've gotten to a point in life where I'm respecting people's decisions. Like, okay, do what works for you. And I'm like, are we still doing this?
That
I'm
used to
like,
be me, but now, if you are my friend, I will
I
tell
think we
you.
should be able to tell each other the truth.
Babe.
Like, bro, this is not going anywhere good. Like, just leave already. Well,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
No,
I'll stop being
with
the
our
understanding
friends,
friend.
it gets to a point where we just really have to let them know, like, babe,
Okay.
this is happening. Um,
Well, another question I think I've gotten from friends is, how do you know you are in love? Like, there are people that do not know when they're in love. Like, they like somebody so much, they're attracted to the person, they've been talking to the person, they love spending time with the person, but they're like, what does that love you guys speak about even feel like? Like, how do I know when I'm actually in love with somebody? So, what would you say that feels like, or how would you be able to explain that, or what does healthy love in a way look like?
yeah,
I know it looks like different things for different people, but like,
exactly.
how do people know they're in love? Because someone asked me the question, I was like, I don't, how, like, I'm happy about this person. Like, when I think about them, I'm so excited. Okay, maybe that's what love is like. So, but as a counselor, you've spoken to so many couples, so maybe there's just one. I don't. There's this maybe a similarity between all of them that would be like, oh, okay, probably this is a thing called love.
Okay, I'm going to go technical right now.
Okay.
So I think the best way I can answer how you know you're in love with someone is if there's something we call the triangle of love
Mm-hmm.
in psychology. And it's basically like the three really important components that love has to contain for it to be considered as romantic love. So
Mm.
we have commitment, we have intimacy, and we have passion, right?
Oh, okay.
Now, one or two of these might exist in any relationship at a given time, But what defines romantic love is when those three exist in relationship at a given time. So
Okay.
commitment, basically, you are wholeheartedly committed and dedicated to this person. What does that look
Uh-huh.
like? You want to be with them and just them. You are concerned about their well-being. You prioritize their safety. You
Mhm.
you seek to protect them. You consider them in everything you do. You care about them.
Mhm.
Basically, they're a priority in your life, a priority that makes you want to be better, not just for them, but also for yourself. Right. So the
Mhm.
second is intimacy. So what does intimacy look like? It's not just physical intimacy, right? It's mostly emotional intimacy. Is
Yeah.
knowing that, with this person I feel safe. With this person I don't feel judged. I don't feel like I have to be anything other than who I am. I
Mhm.
feel like I can show up as originally as I am meant to show up, and I'll be loved, I'll be accepted, and I'll be acknowledged, I'll be validated. It's knowing that, you can wake this person up at 2 a.m. and just ramble and ramble and ramble about what's going on in your mind, and they're willing to listen to you, right? So is that deep level of emotional intimacy.
Intimacy. Yeah.
And then there's also the passion aspect about it. So this is
Hmm.
where the butterflies come in, the gish gish, the oh my god, you see them and you want to tear up their clothes, you can't stop
Mhm.
touching them. This is
Mhm.
where, the old physical affection, the affectionate
Mhm.
displays, the tenderness, this is where it comes into play. So now you can be committed to someone, but you don't feel any passion towards them. There's no intimacy, right? This is typically what happens in many parent-child relationships, right?
Yeah.
Your parents are committed to you, but they're not sitting down with you to gist about your love life, or
Well, that's true.
they're not necessarily feeling passionate about you, right?
Mhm.
Now, you can have intimacy with someone and you can be committed to them, but there is no passion. And this is what typically happens in friendships, right? So you guys are really, really close, you are tight, you even feel like soulmates, you are committed to the friendship, you're
Mhm.
making it work, you're creating time for each other, but you don't want to tear up their bones, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to jump them, you don't want to
Mhm.
kiss them. There's no overwhelming feeling, oh my god. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's friendship. Right now, you can be passionate about somebody, you can be intimate with them, but there is no commitment. And this is where situationships get birth. Friends with
Mm.
benefits, talking stages, yeah,
Mhm.
that's like where it lands. There's passion, there's intimacy, but there is no commitment. And
Commitment.
it's a very, very
Yeah.
confusing place to be. And sometimes it's just passion. No intimacy, no commitment, just passion.
Just
And
passion.
then when there's passion, but there's also commitment, but intimacy is lacking, it can't be said to be full of either, right?
Mhm.
Intimacy, passion, commitment, but no intimacy is really what you see in some couples who decide to get married, who decide to do married life, maybe because they just like they're a good fit for each other. It's what their parents
Yeah.
want, or maybe over time that intimacy just falls out of the basket and then they have to rebuild it again. But when all three are present, there's commitment, there's intimacy, and there is
There's
passion. Then
passion.
it is love.
Mhm.
So if you are with someone and you find yourself experiencing, you know, not just feelings,
Mhm.
but like, just experiencing phenomena that
Mhm.
fall into either of these three, the passion aspect, the commitment aspect, intimacy aspect. What that means is that you are in love with them. So find
Mm.
yourself really wanting to super commit to someone, sharing everything with them, not being able to hold yourself back,
Mhm.
feeling like, so sexy, baby, you're in love. That's a sign that you're in love. So yeah,
Okay.
that's how I
Okay.
explain
That really
it.
helps because even me, I'm like, oh, that is a very detailed like definition. Like, oh, okay, nice. That's a really good angle to come from. Talking with you is always very educative, honestly. And I like that you've been very like accessible in terms of like comfort. I want to start content. I don't know where to start from. I want to put myself out there. I want to do branding. So like it's always very, very
I
insightful
try.
and
I
yeah,
try. I
it's
mean,
always
I'm
very
I'm actually actively trying to be a better friend because it's something I also realized at some point in my life that I've been dropping the ball a lot when it came to my
yeah.
friendships. And I didn't like the kind of person that revealed to me in the mirror. So I think I made a decision last year that I really wanted to be a more present friend. I wanted to
Friend.
be a more
Oh,
available and accessible friend. And I won't say I'm there yet, but I'm making
you're
efforts.
trying.
I'm practically making efforts. So.
That's all that matters, actually. I mean, a step at a time. So is there something you're unlearning about love?
Is there something I'm learning about love? Oh my god. Yes, but I don't know how to put it exactly. What I'm learning about love is more about myself than anything
Mm,
else. Um, Again, last year was just it's such a turning point here for me. So last year, I realized that I was still anxiously attached.
mm,
That even though I've been married for years now, and even though marriage has been relatively mostly good, because of course there
mhm,
are always ups and downs. Um, I still have this constant fear of being left alone, and that
hmm,
fear causes me to overcompensate sometimes. It causes me to feel like I have to constantly perform and
yeah,
work really hard to earn and keep love. And it wasn't something I knew I was conscious. It wasn't something I was conscious of
about,
doing for a very
mhm,
long time. If you had asked me before last year what kind of attachment style I had, I'll tell you I had a secure attachment style. I
mhm,
believe I really got into that place, but I've not. And it was manifesting in my life in so many ways. Even in dreams, I'll have dreams of being left alone with my husband, being cheated on,
aww,
being turned again.
mhm,
I suddenly woke up and then they started being unkind and cruel to me. And then it was just really messing me up, and it was manifesting in even the way I acted towards him in our relationship. It just being really overcompensating, right?
mhm.
So when I realized last year, it was such a shocker for me. Like,
I can
oh my
imagine,
god, because
yeah,
I knew where it was coming from, right? It was
mhm,
coming from all those years of going through one bad relationship from this
yeah,
to that,
mhm,
and most of these relationships started out well, and then suddenly they turned sour. So I guess there had always been that fear living inside of me that, oh, even if my marriage is good now, this relationship is good now, it's only a matter of time before things go
mhm,
bad. Who am I to be loved? Who
hmm,
am I to be worthy of this kind of safety
yeah,
and security and kindness? Who am I? And when I clocked it last year, it was so hard for me to come to terms because I felt like a hypocrite. Like, you have been telling people you deserve love, you deserve because you don't have
no, I
to.
mean,
And you've been doing all
we're all
this.
figuring it out, like, honestly, and that's like
So
the last question I would even be asking you, like, do you have it all
yeah,
figured out when it comes to love?
no,
No.
I do it. I do it. So just to finish answering that question,
Mhm.
what I'm unlearning, and I'll say I'm unlearning the need to feel like I have to earn love, and I am learning to like internalize that I am okay by
Yeah.
myself, and that
Mhm.
even if love didn't exist, even if love turns sour, even if things end up bad, I'll still be okay, right?
Yeah.
Because some of the anxiety comes from thinking, oh, if I lose this, then my world is going to end, I'm going to shatter. But
Mhm.
just telling myself that me, comfort, I'm a speck. Just me like this. See,
Yeah.
I am
Mhm.
such an amazing, wonderful human that anybody that has me, just by the method that you have me in your life, you are lucky. So I don't
Exactly.
have to perform. I don't
Mhm.
have to overcompensate. I'm going to do my best to be a good partner, but me by myself, I'm okay. And yeah, just really on learning, earning love and learning loving myself more. Yeah. So your final
That's
question. Okay.
That no, I'd not even asked that one. I just slotted it in based on how the
Okay.
conversation was going. Like that's it's. I feel like people, some people try to find love to complete them, and I think that's a really
Yeah.
like bad place
Yeah.
to not be. It's a dangerous place to search for love
It
from.
is.
Yeah,
It is.
it's really nice to know like when you have that confidence in yourself that you're whole, like you're enough, and regardless of whatever happens, like you'll still be fine. You still be that babe. You still be that
Yes.
chick. You still be that
And it
successful
changes to
author.
okay. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. It doesn't define you per se. It's not like a personal failure, like we said
No.
during the episode as well. Okay, so yeah, it's been a very like I feel like this is one of my favorite episodes
Yeah,
ever.
you're making me say things I would never say.
I love this episode. Like I've really had like a great time talking with you to
Same
you.
here.
Like it feels like we've just been chatting, just free flowing, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. And I just I just wanted to ask you before you go, right? You're a relationship counselor, a coach, you work with emotional healing and all these things, and people would assume comfort has like everything figured out. I love life is definitely there is not like there is not chaos, there's no trouble, there is not this, there's not that. Everything is perfect. I mean, it doesn't have to be turbulence, but we all know that nothing is 100% perfect. So yeah, would you say you have everything totally figured out when it comes to love and relationships?
I don't have anything figured out when it comes to anything. And honestly, that's something that I'm really like lately. I've been really coming to terms with about myself. For
Mm-hmm.
so long, I always just move with this certain kind of bravado, like I know now, I know. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
29 this year, and I'm realizing that I don't know. I don't
Actually.
know anything at all, right? I mean, to a very large extent,
Yeah.
I know, but there are so many things I am blindsided to because I am still human at the end of the day. So speaking
Exactly.
about love and relationships, no, I don't have everything figured out. And sometimes it's easy to know things in theory, but to leave them and like to actually leave them in the practical sense of it can be so hard, right?
That's
So
true
it's
about
like
it.
that for me too
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. Like I know those things, but to act them in the practical sense of it, oh, the
It's
competition, like
different.
there's a small gap that happens between knowing and
I'm
doing.
doing
So
a large gap
yeah,
or large one.
exactly. So I mean, I'm in therapy too. I have a therapist, and that's what I'm very,
Mm-hmm.
very about with my clients. Like, oh my god, see, your coach, your counselor is also seeing a therapist because we are in this together. And I found that them hearing that just gives them encouragement. Okay, yeah, this person is also really serious about our
Yeah.
well-being, and I can trust that she'll be serious about mine as well. So yeah, I do have it all figured out. I don't, but my attitude towards life is failing fast and learning faster, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when I fail, yeah, I failed. Okay, yeah, I'm not stewing in that failure. I'm thinking, what can I learn? Why did this happen? How can I ensure it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
happen again? I'm taking the lessons and then I'm moving on. So I say that's just one thing I do, despite not having it figured out. I learn from my failures and I do
Yeah,
better.
that is really beautiful to hear. And the thing is, something about you is I like how vulnerable you can be. And when I had like a consultation, so to say, with you about like coming online and being out there, I was like, I don't want people to put me on this high pedestal and see me as like all knowing Bukola. And you were like, you can show them your flaws too as well. You can remind them occasionally that you're only human and you don't have everything figured out. So yeah, like that's something I even try to emphasize with this podcast. Like we're all just going through life. We've not done this before.
Yeah.
Comfort has not lived this life before. She's doing it for
I'm
the first
not. Oh
time.
my god. I mean,
Exactly.
you can
So
tell.
so
You
yeah,
get the front row seats to my life. You can tell.
we're just learning as we're going, and we're trying to walk by people's playbooks, like those that have tried to theorize these things for us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, baby, for this wonderful
Thank you.
episode, for this
Thank you
very
for
nice
having me.
episode, and it has been a pleasure having you. And I think
Yeah, it has been
probably you can say one
been
or two things if you want to say to end the episode to the word person with a broken heart listening to this now. What would you tell them? Just one sentence, just something to make them feel seen and safe.
one sentence to make them feel sane and safe. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. One sentence is small. It's very, very hard though.
I intentionally did that to you because I know.
Okay. You're not tripping. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You're not
Mm,
tripping. Like you're not tripping for feeling the way you feel. You're not tripping.
yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's that's a cute one. Your feelings are valid. I think you
Yep.
you you put together a write up on that recently as well on like people feeling attached to people and having them understand
Yeah.
that it is fine.
Yeah. You're
Totally
not tripping.
fine.
That's sometimes we try to, we try to how do I put it now? We try to make heartbreak feel like "Ugh, it's nothing, but you know,
It's
to
a
how
lot
do I
though.
explain it right now? You're not tripping.
My heart cannot even take any heartbreak anymore.
Hey, my sister.
It is a whole lot. So, any last words for us on the pod before we call it an episode?
Honestly, I'm happy to be here. I'm glad I came into this blind. Because God did not tell me what we're going to be discussing. She didn't tell me she's asking
I
all these
did not know what
questions.
you were going to be discussing, bro. I did not know.
But I was just so happy to do this with my girl because I listen to the podcast whenever I have
Mm-hmm.
time, and I always have a good time. So when she invited me on, I was like, "Yeah, let's do this." I mean, this is what friends are for. So I'm
Yeah.
so glad I came here. I love talking. I don't talk much, but
Yeah.
when I get to talk, I love talking. So I'm glad I got to talk, and in answering the questions, I was able to do a lot of reflection, and it helped me also see myself in a better light. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, I just want to say to everybody out there listening to this, I really hope that this episode, has spoken to you in some way, and I hope you keep
Yeah.
coming back for more because this podcast is filled with loaded with gems. Okay, and I'm
Oh,
wishing you so much healing. I'm wishing you so much love, light,
thank
wherever you are
you.
right now, whether you are broken hearted and you are
Mm-hmm.
thinking you never find love again. It is possible to find love again because people have. I've been there. Bookie has been there. Has been there. But guess what? Look at where we are now. We're in
Mm-hmm.
really better places. So if anything, I hope that we can be a source of encouragement that it does get better. And to those of you who have found good love, I'm so happy for you, man. Shout out. I do
Love,
hope that you continue to put in the work
you,
to
man,
cherish
man.
it, to nurture it, and that keeps
Mm-hmm.
something even more beautiful. So yeah, thank you for giving us almost 2 hours of your time. It's been wonderful. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Buki, for
Thank
having
you
me.
so
I love
much.
you.
And thank you also for listening to this point. Like, I hope we've been able to convince you and not confuse you that love is such a beautiful thing. The journey to finding good love might be filled with a lot of trials and tribulations, but you get there, you find it. And when
Yeah,
you find it, you see that it was worth it. And, at the end of the day,
absolutely, absolutely.
alrighty. And please,
Right.
Comfort is like she's online, she's vocal, she talks about these things. In case you want to like talk to her personally, she offers consultation as well. She's available for you to like for you to speak to, for you to and our words are always like kind of very soothing, comforting, like her name says comfort. I didn't plan that before. See? Please, she's I think now what's your social media handle? Because some people might have actually even missed it because they are so used to Phoenix. What's it
Yes, for me,
now?
actually, it's Hearts Bloomier. So
Oh,
HEARTS, then Bloomier. No underscore,
okay.
no space, just Hearts Bloomier.
So yeah.
And you're right. Some people have reached out to me. Oh my god, I didn't know it was you. I've been skipping because like, who is this?
Oh,
So yeah, that's happening. It's Hearts Bloomier on
but yeah,
Instagram, on Twitter,
with
on
time, it
TikTok,
will stick.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So please follow Comfort Hat Bloom yeah on Instagram, on Twitter as well.
Yes, TikTok,
Oh,
everywhere. Hearts
everywhere
Bloomier.
Hat Bloom yeah. Thank you so much, babes, and
Thank
thank you so much,
you.
everyone, for listening. Bye.